But these are merely preliminaries to the next invention that I'm going to share with you. And this is, let me read the title of it. It's an apparatus for facilitating birth by centrifugal force. You kind of get it, don't you, right? It's a big turntable. The woman is, I've always imagined she must be strapped in because otherwise she would be running away in terror. There's a net. We can zoom in. I don't know if we should or not. This is in the 1960s, okay? This is not 100 years ago or 120 like those other things. This is Charlotte and George Blonsky in California. Okay, it's California. In the 1960s. And you say, well, how could they possibly have taken such a ridiculous idea and actually spent the money and the attorney's fees and got it patented? Here's the thing, though. It's a fine line between the absolutely brilliant and the absolutely absurd. And there's no doubt that I think that this falls on the absurd side. But it's a fine line, and we do not always see where that line is. And I'm thinking of another inventor now, and this one is about 160, 170 years ago, 1840s. And this guy went to Congress. He was so poor, so desperate for money, that he went to the government and hoped that Congress would pass a bill giving him money to fund his invention. And he set it up in one of those committee rooms in the Capitol. And he had it over there on the table, and he had the congressman come in and look at it. I have a picture of the inventor right here, very determined-looking fellow. And we know that the congressmen who came to see his invention could not make up their mind. Was he a charlatan or a lunatic? Because they figured it had to be one or the other. Either he was trying to con them out of some money, or he was just plain crazy. Because the idea that he brought to them seemed every bit as impractical, as crazy, as unnecessary as the spinning baby dropper seems to us. So what was that invention? It was the telegraph. The invention that ushered in the age of instant communications. They couldn't see it. They couldn't see it. So the lesson is that we should be very careful about hooting at somebody else's invention, because somebody else's idea that seems ridiculous to us. Because first of all, we might be as wrong as those congressmen. Not in the case of the Blonskys, but we might be, okay? We might be as wrong as those congressmen. And the second thing is, and I think this is always good to keep in mind, is just because one idea comes from somebody that's a crazy idea, hey, the next one might be good. Franklin Roosevelt said of Winston Churchill, he has 100 ideas a day, 4 of which are good. I think 4 out of 100 is pretty good in the innovation business.